Hi, I'm Mark Granite, driver of the world champion Miss Geico race boat. Hey, how about I show you around the cockpit a little bit? Basically, this is the throttle man side of the cockpit. And this is the business side of running a turbine boat. This controls the engines, you have the ignition switches, you have all of your bilge switches. It's very important to keep water out of the engine compartment. You have all of your generators and the power that the turbines are making right here. You've got your gauges. We keep them pretty basic. While it looks like there's a lot, we have the basic information being fed to Scotty B. We have our EGTs, that's the exhaust gas temperature. It tells us how hot the exhaust is that's coming out of the engine. And if you break that down, that's pretty much how hard we're running the engine. Your N1 and your N2, this is how fast the turbine's spinning. These types of turbines have two turbines in one, essentially. A GP section and a power turbine section. So the N1 is how fast the main turbine is spinning, and then the power turbine is the back end of the motor, and that is how fast essentially our propellers, or the power that's going to our propellers, is spinning. From there, various fuel pressures, oil temperatures. This allows us to keep an eye on all the basic running components for the engine. For Scotty, he's got to maintain the attitude of the boat. By that, he uses the drives and the tunnel tabs here, and this allows us to change the attitude of the boat. It allows us to put the bow down, or it allows us to raise the bow up. This button right here, this injects water into the engine. It's kind of like a nitrous shot. It seals up the engine really tight, thus it'll make more power. So this button adds about 150 horsepower per engine, about 300 extra horsepower. Push to pass is what we call it. Over here, you got your throttles, and this is the engine, the main engine controller. This puts fuel in and takes fuel out of the engines. So all the way forward is really fast, and all the way back is really slow. On the side, you have your transmission, which allows you to shift forward and reverse. That's a quick tour of Scotty's side of the boat. Now we move on to my side. Now I got you over on my side of the boat. While it seems simple here, there's actually a lot going on. What I have to do in my job is to maintain the direction of the boat, making sure that we stay on course, utilizing all the speed that Scotty is putting into the boat, the input, and making sure that we use it correctly. That is, it's going in the right direction. So we have to work as a team. We're always working in unison, always communicating where the boat's going, what direction we're going, what attitude that we're taking. I have a screen here that allows me not only to have a track position and course location, but it also gives me cameras that are mounted all around the boat. There's a camera looking back where we can look at our competition. There's cameras in the engine compartment that allow us to look at the engines and the condition of the engines, make sure that there's nothing going on in an engine compartment. There's also cameras that give us an outside view in various directions. We have our GPS, two of them actually, that maintain and show us the current speed of the boat. We have our drive indicators that allows both of us to review and understand where the drives are in relation to how the boat is running. Up here, this is our rudder indicator. This tells me the degrees that I've got the rudder turned. In a lot of cases, the wind will be blowing, and to go straight, I'll actually have to have the wheel turned. This small bank of switches here is in charge of our electronics, our communication, our air conditioning system, and various lights throughout the cockpit. This computer here gives us lap times, tells us speed, gives us various indicators from the telemetry system that is also watching all of our systems on the boat. There is a control station, very similar to what you see on NASCAR or Formula One, where our crew is actually monitoring all the systems. When we're in a race, it can be very, very busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes we have to take our eyes off of the gauges and just focus on the water to make sure that we get through. Communications, our VHF radios and our private channel allow us to talk privately to our crew or publicly to the race control. And then our air systems. Our air systems, we have 3 redundant air systems, from a backup to even more backup down here to our main helmet backup system. But this allows us to make sure before we start test today that we have pressure in our tanks and that we're not running on an empty tank. This is our removable helm or steering wheel. In the event of an accident, I need to get out. I have to remove the steering wheel and exit the boat. This is our tunnel escape hatch. This allows us to exit the boat in the event that we're upside down.